god.
Now my head cannon is destroyed. But regardless, we are gonna not be in a ZVZ, but in a PvP here on Romanticide LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the blue Protoss player coming out for the land of Korea. He is gonna be representing his team, Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is not to be confused with Kuro. He is herO.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player. This one is red. This one is representing his new team, Prep Esports. It is Haas. Not preparatory or whatever the hell Yaku was saying last week.
Preparatory. No, prep is short for preparatory, though. So
we confirmed that
In
whatever the hell you
general.
were saying was not in fact a word that existed.
well, not in your language.
Not in Singlish either, mate. I know what you're trying to pull there, mate. God damn.
Yeah, preparatory. You know.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like a school, but it's but gaming. Oh no, wait, is it prep esports? Or prep
It's a
gaming?
school that gets you ready for purgatory, mate. It just it sets you up for when it's time.
That's just a hospital.
Oh god. But we'll see how this PvP will turn out. Again, we saw, I think the important thing to note is that in the previous series we saw Nice being more of like, at some points greedy, at some points the defender. I feel like clearly Haas is a very different kind of Protoss.
Without a doubt. He is much greedier than Nice.
He is.
Nowadays, anyway, he is, yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. So yeah, it's one of those things where Haas and Nice are like two sides of the same coin. You know? In a lot of ways, but in better ways, they remind me of you and Alex. You know, like they complete each other in a way. So yeah, I'm sure they have more than one, but oh god.
Or maybe they just have one really big one.
Maybe.
Isn't that a thing where it's like the brain is just one giant cell that has cells inside it? No, I'm thinking of eggs, never mind.
What?
The egg is just one giant cell.
You have an egg in your head?
What? I might.
What?
Trying to call me an egghead.
Oh god. And we'll see how this turns out. Again, we already had a PvP on the Romanticide, and we saw, you know, it's quite susceptible to things like proxies. Both players are looking to throw down some pylons around the map, but which one of them is going to commit? Because herO's is just for show, and Haas is also just for show.
Huh. I was gonna say, yeah, herO's looks a lot more like a spotter pylon, right? In case Haas decides to sneak anything out from that side of the map. Meanwhile, Haas, because it's in much closer proximity, he can try to warp something in or even build, I don't know, Stargate or a Robo, but yeah, no, it's also just gonna be a show, as you said.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, it's actually being warped in, and wow, Haas is gonna stumble upon this anyway. Okay.
That's just another advantage of staying in the game this long. You recognize how to rally your units, so just in case there are proxies like this, catch them.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Meanwhile, Haas, he's actually using this pylon to reinforce across the map. We have 4 adepts in total looking to find a way in to the main base of herO. herO, though, he's ready with some sentries for a force field, but not necessarily a probe for a pylon.
Yeah, the shades cancel, try to sneak on past. Not through these shades, though.
Love it.
They will get right on top of the depths of herO, but not before getting force fielded in. Right on top of that ramp. When it's all said and done, that sentry still lives. Only thing Haas got was an adept. No, not even an adept, a sentry.
Yeah, he only got a single sentry there. He wanted more than one, he wanted 2, but the shield battery was good enough to keep it alive, and just like that, those adepts basically did nothing, and herO is free to take a third.
Just like so. And so is Haas.
And so is Haas. So again, a very different kind of PvP here, completely different compared to the entire series that we had previously, where both players are going to get a third up and running.
Yeah, but to what end is going to be my question. Haas finishing up his blink quite a bit quicker than herO. And I do imagine that herO wants to prioritize blink as well and focus a lot more on just his own blink stalker control. Haas, meanwhile, we see him do a lot of different things on Romanticide PvP, right? He has played very stalker heavy, sometimes to his detriment as his opponent techs up. But he himself can also be the player to tech up, right? We've seen him be the first player to get the Robo Bay and go to Disruptors. We've even seen him go Colossus once or twice, which is awkward in a PvP, but every now and then it works out. If you happen to be Russian and you happen to go by the handle of Skillus.
You're not wrong about that. You're not wrong. What I will say is that, oh my god, we do have a pretty big gateway explosion here from Haas. So yeah, we'll see how he wants to utilize that. The Robo did just finish up. I was waiting for a War Prism from herO, but he opted not to go for it. Right now he's relying a lot on vision out on the map. He is applying a little bit of pressure here with some Stalkers, but there is enough here to respond for Haas. But ooh, actually the Stalkers get into the mineral line,
which is not something you typically see from Stalkers.
Yeah.
Normally want Adepts to do that, and speaking of Adepts to do that, they do seek in, get a couple of probe kills, but more importantly, distract the army of Haas. herO now trying to draw Haas away from the shield battery range. That Sentry utilizing some force fields, but it's not actually the most useful ability when it's Stalker v Stalker.
Yeah, like, that worked so well for herO. He pulled apart the army of Haas there, getting so many worker kills. As we can see, 7 probes in total. Now, with that, herO has a very substantial worker lead here. He can start focusing on other aspects of his army and spending his resources. And with that, he begins Immortal production.
But he needs those Immortals out now. Like, Haas has pulled the trigger. He's looking to reciprocate any damage herO has done throughout this game.
Yeah, we brought it up earlier. Like, there was that big gateway explosion for Haas, and now he's utilizing that. He prioritized that War Prism, not the detection, like herO did, and now he is here across the map.
Trying to move up a ramp, and this will give herO a bit of an advantage when it comes to the position. Haas doesn't want to tangle with that. Rightly so.
Yeah, he's trying to find another angle of attack. He's going to go rotate towards the north. There is a spotter pylon here, though, so this will notify herO once Haas gets close enough and he can respond with his army. And, ooh, herO spicing things up with a Dark Shrine.
Ooh, you love to see it. At least I do. If Haas is careful, he won't see it.
That's very true. He does have an Observer with his main army, but again, what about back at home across the map, especially because he halted Observer production for that War Prism. Meanwhile, ooh, Sentry does get picked off. The Immortal is exposed!
And it will get picked off just like so. Exposed just outside of the range of the shield battery, too. Very good force field control here from Haas. His Stalkers are starting to get back into a corner, though. Upgrades are about to even up, and the Immortal really started to put the hurt on Haas's army. Haas continuing to warp in. He can smash this if his control is on point, but that's kind of hard to do against somebody like herO.
Yeah, exactly. The Blink Stalker control just has been a little bit better here for herO, but the Immortal does go down, and now a couple of Zealots are coming in. They were a little bit stuck behind the Stalkers, but now they get on forward, and they're going to mess up a lot of the targeting here for herO. But now he breaks through anyway. Yeah,
getting a couple of Zealots of his own, breaking up the targeting of Haas's Stalkers. These Stalkers are so rampant.
Oh yeah, for both players. They're both injured.
That's what happens when both players have really good control.
Exactly, just barely keeping those Stalkers alive. Now Haas is forced all the way back. And what's important is that right now, he doesn't have any cannons at home. He has a couple of shield batteries, that's great and all, but there we go. That War Prism is loaded up with a bunch of TTs.
One cannon being thrown down, but I think that's at the third base location. Ooh. A couple more Observers being popped off here for Haas. I think he has sort of realized, you know what? I could really be screwed in case there's a Dark Shrine, so yeah, want to be careful.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see as that War Prism is sneaking in to the main base, bypassing that cannon at the third. No detection here, gonna maybe force a recall on the observer.
Yeah, that'd definitely be ideal here for herO. The observers of herO are starting to fall first, though. Towards this pylon light.
Oh my god. It really is. And there we go. The pylon is being focused down, as well as a couple of these workers. We do see that herO tries to dip into the third base, but realizes there is a cannon there, so instead only goes to the natural and the main. And mate, he's getting those pylons.
He really is. Observers are still slow here for Haas. He was buying himself so much time. I mean, it's also super important that he got that pylon that was researching +3, because he was only now halfway down to his own +2.
Exactly, exactly. Meanwhile, the main army of herO is pushing on forward, and he is dwarfing the army supply of Haas. He blinks on forward, trying to break through in towards the fourth base, but oh, it's so difficult to force your way through this choke point.
Really is, and without the warp prism in position, herO won't be able to reinforce that either.
Exactly.
So again, he decides not worth it. He's going to focus more on macroing up and hitting him in round, what is it, round 3, round 4? Regardless, I'm going to have some disruptors out when I hit, so.
Yeah, both players are working towards a robotics base. Both players want to eventually get into those disruptors. There may be an opportunity here for maybe herO to make some moves before that happens, but as we can see, now that the DCs have been dealt with, Haas reinforces his army. He's got a pretty sizable amount of stalkers here at his fourth.
That he does. He has the upgrade lead, but not for too much longer. Disruptors are going to be the equalizer here for herO, but only one of them is starting to be produced.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I love how herO has realized, oh, this choke point is really, really awful. I can't really push through here. Let's open up a couple of other pathways. Clears up these rocks, but doesn't commit to an attack. Not yet. Just waiting for those disruptors, as he's making 3 at a time.
Rallying them, not quite across the map, but close to the front lines. See how well he's able to utilize them. In a Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker battle, the least you can hope for with disruptors is a zoning tool.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm a little bit worried because maybe Haas is overextending a little bit. Here come the disruptors. They're coming in. They're slowly creeping in behind the army of herO.
Doesn't want to get body blocked too hard. Okay, when disruptor doesn't get to do too much, Haas is a disruptor of his own. Battling Novas, and Haas's Nova lands just barely on a couple of stalkers, but it's damage nonetheless.
Oh. we both
saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, we both saw that disruptor flying a little bit too close to the sun there. Meanwhile, Purification over here doesn't quite go off yet, but he does have the disruptor advantage here. It's just so awkward to engage each other with Blink Stalkers.
But he was gonna try using them as bait for his Purification Nova. The DTs blink on in. They get that cannon, they get a ton of workers too. Oh, kind of whiffing the Purification Novas here. That was a big risk Haas was taking, trying to get a couple of those stalkers that didn't really pay off. In fact, he pays the price for it. Loses one of his disruptors, and he's about to lose his entire mineral line.
Oh my god, I love this. Here he's focusing on the Robo, so the Robo will go down. Disruptor production is being stifled here for Haas. He sends out a couple of disruptor shots, and now he only has one. He's gonna have none left. That's his last Purification Nova.
Those felt like shots in the dark. Like, hopefully, if nothing else, this deters herO.
Oh god!
Wasn't quite the case. One Purification Nova takes out 3 disruptors. Light. Talk about efficiency. Another very juicy connection here for herO. Haas has a slight upgrade advantage, but that's about to even out here.
Yeah, that it is. And what's important is that the disruptor count has been reset. herO, he does have a couple more on the way, but those DTs have wreaked havoc. They just decimated the workers. They've taken out the third base. The main base is next, and now Haas is all in.
But with nothing to really threaten herO.
Yeah, they're equal in upgrades. He has one disruptor. I guess maybe there's a world where that one disruptor kills all the disruptors of herO, but that's really like the only hope.
Being a little bit conservative with his Purification Novas, as he should. Purification Novas haven't been great, but at this point, herO doesn't exactly need them. He dealt with the Warp Prism, he cuts the army in half using his Force Fields, even baiting out that Blink earlier on, so he was sure that he could pin those Stalkers in. GG. Bit of a... The length of that game was not quite what I was expecting like when I saw Haas and herO, but very strategically played for both of them.
Definitely. There was some nice moves there by Haas towards the end. I mean, he killed every single disruptor without taking a big shot to the face. But as we saw, like, he was just down in army supply, down in economy, down in every which way. Like, it was almost impossible for him to get back in that situation. herO did a very good job at just tearing Haas apart with those DTs.
Exactly. That was the number one thing Haas was behind in.
Yeah.
The quantity that really cost him.
Exactly. DTs are greater than no DTs.
Exactly.
And also, I did.
Without...
Hmm?
Go on. No, I was just gonna say, with how Protoss players, specifically parting, have been utilizing DTs lately, they're like, oh my god, they're gonna take the place of Zealots, aren't they? At least it's like PvT or whatever. But yeah, I guess we'll just get these intros out of the way, because there's a thingy that I'm actually also curious as to what you were going to say. Like, so here on Lightshade LE, in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, starting all the way to the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming out for the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG, as well as Kaczynski, apparently. He is herO.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the maybe southern Taiwan.
Yeah, South Taiwan. You know. That's how I view it anyway. You know, nice as in the north.
The Taiwanese Protoss player. He is blue, representing Prep Esports, his brand new team after being teamless for oh so long. It is Haas.
Actually, I think they both live in Taipei, so.
It's quite possible.
It could be on opposite ends of the city.
Sure. Or they could be neighbors.
They could, as well, yeah. How big is Taipei?
It's probably bigger than Singapore, let's be real.
Yeah. I think it has a high population, at least. Area-wise, it might also be bigger.
Oh, God. Look, there aren't many things that Singapore is bigger than, okay? Maybe... I can't. I'm pretty sure even Seoul is bigger than Singapore, mate. I don't know.
No, in terms of population, it is. It's a very heavily populated city.
Yeah. God damn it, Singapore. But I did want to address Zergling in the chat. Zergling Claw's attack. I know this is something that we bring up pretty consistently, but especially if you're tuning in for the first time to ESL Open Cup Asia, you may not be aware that these ESL Open Cups, specifically Asia and Americas, don't contain a lot of Zerg players, unfortunately. Even though, like, StarCraft as a whole may be a lot more dominated by Zerg, especially when it comes to, you know, Serval, Raynor, Dark, Rogue. These are players who, sure, they're active in these premier events, but not so much in the weeklies.
Yeah, I miss the days where we'd see Dark and Ragnarok and Armani sign up consistently for ESL Asia, but them days are gone, so...
Feels bad, man. So again, when it comes to these ESL Open Cup Asias, very consistently, they're dominated by Protoss and Terran. Every like, maybe once a month, if that, Solar signs up. But again, as you said, Armani and Ragnarok, not so much. I think Rogue played once. Dark used to be a little bit more active, but yeah.
Yeah, Solar signs up like once a month when he feels his wallet's running dry. Dark signs up once every 3 months when he's bored or when he gets knocked out of a premier tournament. And he's like, I need to play something, otherwise I'm gonna get the shakes. And then, as he said, Rogue signed up once. He won, and he's like, all right, another trophy in my collection. I'm never signing up for this again.
Yeah, pretty much, mate, pretty much. Meanwhile, we do see herO going across the map with his patented Blink Stalkers. You know, Stalkers, I should say, just regular Stalkers for now. Behind this, herO once again, 3 gateways, Robo first, and unlike the previous game, he's not using this Robo for observers. He's cranking out that War Prism. He wants to go across the map, and he wants to be oh so cheeky, especially with those sentries. He wants to get into the main, and he wants to block off that ramp.
Yeah, the elevator prism.
Oh, it's disgusting, mate.
Really can be, especially if he was able to sandwich Haas's army on the ramp. He's looking to bait this as best he can. Getting a couple more warp-ins in position. Now he knows how to really punish those sentries. That warpism, I should say, started to get in position a little bit. Oh, but hero decides not to go for it.
Yeah?
Not yet, anyway.
Well, I mean, he wants a Nexus.
He does.
And
much more of a conservative target here for hero, but at least that guarantees to put him ahead.
Yeah,
for now.
Exactly. Meanwhile, there we go. Nice warpism micro hero. He doesn't lose a single unit, a single stalker, and now he has an opportunity to go straight into the main base.
Yeah, very slim opportunity, but he's utilizing it anyway. Oh, actually not bringing his sentries with him. He's content with the damage he's dealt with taking out that Nexus. So now just seeing if he can get away with anything more. Doesn't lose a stalker and gets a couple of probes. Again, hero, after the initial aggression, now just being a lot more careful, a lot more conservative.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, because of the damage that he dealt, he could even go for an expansion and move on from here, especially because... Yeah, Haas hasn't gone for an expansion. He has to double check, and he will scout with this hallucination, and it is so important that he's doing this because we have some hidden tech for Haas. Will he see, though, because a robotics bay is on the way behind the mineral line. Ooh, and hero doesn't commit to the scout. He only confirms the lack of the natural, and because of that, Haas is going straight into disruptors. Or Colossus, I guess.
Yeah. We'll see whether or not Haas has lost it. Hero not letting his foot off the pedal, going for immortal drops as well. He scouts that warp prism coming out from Haas, so he knows that in addition to lacking that natural base, he is going to be throwing something his way. He just isn't aware of what yet.
Exactly. And meanwhile, he was able to pick off a pylon here towards the ramp. The rest of his stalkers are actually able to catch a bunch of these adepts. Oh my god, hero getting value all over the place. But it doesn't matter how much value he has. He doesn't have blink. This disruptor could change everything. And it was scouted.
Oh, barely scouts that Robo Bay. But will this change anything about Hero's stance?
Got it.
Very aggressive. Purification over. Actually, not getting much of anything.
Wow.
Immortal's hot picked up right at the last second. Who needs blink? Am I right?
Exactly. Hero with the blink. Immortals. He dodges the purification over, and those were the hopes and dreams of Hearts. He was relying so much on that disruptor, and it did nothing.
Made Blink Immortal sound terrifying. Don't know that phrase around me again unless you want some PTSD. That's a bit of a better Purification Nova, but still only barely grazing the Immortal. Not enough to kill it. One more Disruptor will pop out, but is that really going to be enough?
Like, once again, these Disruptors haven't killed anything. The splits are insane. Finally, one Stalker goes down, but one Stalker is not going to be enough.
Mate. Meanwhile, probes are dying on the other side of the map. Somehow, that's a juicy Purification Nova. But I feel like at this point, the damage has been dealt.
It has been dealt indeed. Meanwhile, the disruptors are coming back home. Oh my god! Ooh, that was so close. Hero, he was just barely able to DPS down that disruptor in time, and now we are in a very awkward place where Hero, neither player has any workers. It's all about the micro.
Really is. But while neither player has any workers, Haas has the ability to make more.
That is very true. Oh, this is a dangerous position here for Hero. I don't think he realizes he's actually going back home to pick up that Immortal. And now we're going to have 2 Immortals and a War Prism versus 2 Immortals, a War Prism, and a bunch of Stalkers.
Yeah, I think Hero can actually get away with this. I mean, he knows that he's basically wiped out the mineral line of Hero. Even though he's continuing to mine right now, he really doesn't have the resources to get any significant forces out. He's hard stuck on those 2 Immortals and that War Prism. Yeah,
and Hero has eyes on this because of this Observer. He sees everything, and all he has to do is kill that War Prism.
That's basically it. Dropping the Immortals and trying to juggle them as best they can. This is a battle of the jugglers. Like, I feel like they both ought to have something like clown makeup or something.
And just like that, Haas is forced out of his own house, out of his own base, and now the Nexus is going to go down. Haas has to protect it. He has to do something.
Do you think Haas could win a base trade? He's got a lot of DPS on his hands, but Probably not. Jesus Christ. herO kicked herO out of his house, as you said, and you can even look at it with the click he's doing. He's like, should I just go across the map and try to win the base trade? No. herO already has such a good head start. I need to find some kind of an opening, but herO ain't giving him that.
Oh!
Man,
GG.
such an important snipe.
Yeah, with the death of that War Prism is also the death of herO, and herO takes the series 2-0.
We were going at this all wrong, like, we thought Nice was the king of Taiwan, we thought herO was El Presidente. Turns out, it was always herO.
There you go, king of Taiwan. Congratulations, herO. He is one of, if not the first player to make it to the semifinals.
Yeah, I do think he's the first player today. Just refresh this bracket real quick. Exclamation mark B in the chat. You can see the Wikipedia bracket as well as the one on ESL. And yeah, first player to get into the semifinals.
Yeah, there we go. There we have it. Meanwhile, who will face him? As in the lower half of the brackets, we are going to have Creator versus Nightmare. The winner goes into the semis. Meanwhile, Beyond still has quite a lot of Protoss to get through.
He really does. hero's... Or, no, I'm sorry. Creator and Nightmare's potential opponent is kind of waiting on that.
Yeah,
and currently going on, and Zhao waiting on that to finish up.
Yeah, so they may have to wait a little bit there. Meanwhile, a very important thing just happened. Nightmare took down Zest.
Yeah. Zest thought that he was gonna get another couple of dollars this week. He was going to be able to once again cement his place as the king of ESL Open Cup Asia, but Nightmare had quite a few things to say about that. If you were active in 2020, you probably aren't too surprised about that result. Nightmare was definitely the PvP sniper of last year, the previous EPT season, but he has been very inactive throughout 2021, and I guess that's kind of forgot how good his PvP was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I guess he forgot.
Or he's just getting a bit of a reminder.